Hello, Libra male hairdressers, and welcome to your reading. We are here to find out what it is that God wants you to know as it pertains to your hairdressing career. So, Libra male hairdressers, Most High God, if there's anybody trying to interfere with this reading, please block them so we can receive the messages that you brought us here to receive. Do step in and deliver your messages to we, your children. So let's find out. Okay. Ooh, we got war. That's the subject matter of your reading, Libra. Libra male hairdressers. Subject matter is war. Everywhere is war. War in the east. War in the west. War not. Okay. Let's check. Okay. Okay. So that's in the upper right. Alright, so the subject matter for your message, Libra male hairdressers, is war. The first card we have to come out for you is Governor. Then we have Otherworldly Being or Mystical Being. And that came out with the gay agenda or another agenda. So some kind of agenda. Okay? There's some kind of agenda at work here in this situation. So what we're going to do now is we're going to check out the underlying issue so we can get more details. First, I'm going to pull out the cards and then I'm going to interpret them. Do not allow the words on the cards to cloud your understanding. I need to interpret it for you. Okay, so don't be fearful whatever card you hear come out. All right. Okay. All right. So first thing we have is temple, Chinese or Buddhist temple. Okay. And then we have stagnation. So temple is talking about spiritual development, you know, because you know the Chinese, when it comes to their temples and the Buddhists and stuff like that, they're all about getting in touch with their inner self, their inner chi, um, higher thinking, higher existence, mystical beings. They're getting in touch with their mystical side, their magical side. Okay, let's read on. Let's make some sense of all this. So we got temple, Chinese or Buddhist, and stagnation. Okay, so somebody's spiritual development is being stagnated. All right, let's read on. So we got quit. Okay, then we got government employee or just employee, because we have governor as part of the message that came out. So that's the person in charge. Then the government employee would be somebody who works for whoever this is that's in charge. Let's read on. Government employee, vaccine, podcast. So a vaccine is like preventative medicine. Okay. So it's like government employee, vaccine, podcast. That is like blocking yourself from taking in something that's being shared on a podcast, being hard-headed, stiff-necked. Okay, let's read on. So we got beach and pastor. I'm gonna just bring out the cards and then let's see. The talented one, seaport, prophet or prophetess, musician, male, utilities, mayor, adolescent, underground city, hospital, music, musician female, government funded, Ministry of Entertainment, laws of the land, secret, actress, delivery, actor, influencing corruption, church, judicial system, human resources, advocate of good, cultural or community center, confusion, and primary school. Next in line, we have advocate of evil. Okay, so let's see what's being said here. All right, so the subject matter of your message was damn, I don't remember. War. Oh, yeah, war. Okay, so the message that came out was governor. Then we have otherworldly being or mystical being, an agenda. Okay, so the person in charge, we got mystical being, an agenda. So it's like somebody's trying to change people from being in tune with their higher self. They have an agenda to change people from connecting with their higher self. It's like fooling people into accumulating bad karma, fooling people into weakening their chi. Chi is life force energy. So yeah, fooling people into deleting themselves slowly from the inside in their mind. Okay, so let's read on. That's the agenda. All right, so we got temple, Chinese or Buddhists, and stagnation. So that's the spiritual development being stagnated. Then we have quit. So stagnate and eventually just quit altogether. So first, they're trying to slow these people down, and in an effort to get them to just stop developing spiritually altogether. Okay, let's read on. So we got the government employee, vaccine, podcast, beach, pastor, the talented one, seaport. So this employee is here to kind of block some kind of podcast that actually bring positive energy, because beach is a place where you go to have a good time, and pastor is the same as that Chinese or Buddhist energy. Is getting in touch with your higher self, your divine self. Vaccinate yourself against a podcast that encourage you to be your best self. They want the talented one to cry. The seaport card is my cry card, because sea is full of salt water, crying salt water, and they're definitely not talking about an actual seaport here. So the seaport would be the saltwater port. Cry. So there's somebody employed here to discourage people from listening to this podcast that helps people to become their better, higher selves. They want the talented one to cry, or the talented ones. Anybody who would hear this message and be inspired, they want them to fail, basically. Have a reason to cry. Now, you're a hairdresser. You're a male hairdresser. Let's read on. So we got prophet or prophetess, musician, male, utilities, and mayor, adolescent, underground city. So this prophet or prophetess has the power. So my musician male card is like my masculine energy card. That's the go-getter card, because if you know anything about masculine and feminine energy allows, masculine energy pursues. So this prophet or prophetess pursues, utilizing their power, the mayor energy, over the adolescent in a subtle kind of way, underground city. And then we got hospital, so it encourages healing, and music, harmony. And then that brings in the musician female card, which means that they will receive, and we have government funded. So this prophetess has the power to utilize his or her strength to encourage these adolescents to heal and harmonize and kind of go with the flow of life. Now, we got government funded Ministry of Entertainment, Laws of the Land, Secret, Actress, Delivery, Actor, Influencing Corruption. So, government funded, so somebody's paying somebody out of their sheer enjoyment to make this prophet or prophetess look like an actress. So it's like they're paying somebody to discredit this prophet or prophetess. So I guess that's the government employee's job. So are you the governor or are you the employee? That is the question. So anyway, so let's say you are the employee or you have hired someone to do this, because outside of your hairdressing you have other matters that you give your attention to. Okay, you're not just a hairdresser, apparently. You're a secret agent. Okay. All right. Uh, so somebody is paying you, I'm guessing, or you're paying someone to discredit this prophet or prophetess by making them look like they are influencing corruption. But the truth is, you and your people are the ones influencing corruption. So exactly how do you do that? I don't know. Maybe you create accounts, social accounts in their name with their picture. Maybe you reach out to people via direct messaging with or from a profile with their picture, so people think that they're talking to him or her. You know, there are many ways that people can ruin people's image or reputation. Maybe you just go around telling lies about this person. That would mean that you have to know this prophet or prophetess personally. So, anywho, so yeah, your job is to discredit this prophet or prophetess because they're changing people into good people. So now the question is, what is your interest? Who are you really that you have such a problem with people becoming better people? So you see, we just never know who people really are. So you must be a part of some kind of secret society posing as a male hairdresser by day and only a God knows what by night. Posing as a hairdresser in the light and only God knows what in the dark. Libra male hairdresser. Very interesting. Let's get the last bit. So we got church, judicial system, human resources, advocate of good, cultural or community center, confusion, primary school. So church is the same energy as the Buddhist energy, as the pastor energy. So this person is actually a person of good, and they're a part of the judicial system of the higher realms, because they're a prophet or prophetess. So they're not working for the government, the laws of the land. These people, this person, or whoever this prophet or prophetess is, they are above the laws of the land, actually. So they are a part of the divine judicial system, and they are advocates of good in the community. But you're trying to confuse the primary schoolers, so those who are of a weaker mindset, that they're actually an advocate of evil. So God wants you to know, or maybe you are one of the people that they're trying to discourage from listening to this prophet or prophetess's podcast. Maybe there's somebody in your ear talking shit about this prophet or prophetess, trying to make them look bad to you. So let's read this as you are one of the people who watch this person's podcast. You like what they have to say. You see the positivity. They're very inspiring. Okay? They help to bring out the best in you. There's somebody in your ear, possibly a real government employee, who's trying to turn your mind against this person who has this podcast and their message. They want you to believe that this person is actually an advocate of evil, when really and truly, this person is a part of the real government system. They're part of the government system of the highest order. So whoever this little jump and sound system person is, They do not match this person in ranking. That's a wannabe. This is God's chosen. It's like the people selected them, or them selected themselves. God selected whoever this is. So God saw that this person was worthy of holding such a title in the system. And that's why God gave this person their own podcast, so that they can spread the message to help people heal, hospital and music. Heal and bring harmony to their life, their personal life, their work life, okay, their family life, just life in general. Because God loves us, and if we can create hell on earth, we can definitely create heaven on earth. So it's like, choose one. It's as simple as that. That's how easy it is to create heaven on earth. So I don't know if you are the governor, if you are the government employee, or if you are one of these mystical beings who are seeking to connect with their higher self. Well, everybody's a mystical being, but I don't know if you're one of these beings who are trying to get in touch with your mystical, magical, higher realm self, your divine self, your what's the word? Your disciplined self, because that's all it's about. Our higher self is simply our disciplined self. It's the part of us that doesn't hesitate to tell ourselves no when there's nothing to stop us from saying yes to whatever it is that we desire. We allow reasoning to override our desires, because we know that it's better if we abstain from XYZ, or it's better if we indulge in XYZ even if we don't want to. So it's all about self-mastery. That's all that is. Being a mystical being is all about self-mastery. On a psychological level, physical level, physiological level, financial level, emotional level, and what you call a magical level? A mystical level, I guess. Because what's magic? It's just higher science, more complicated science. Magic is science. Simple as that. So who wouldn't want to get in tune with their higher self? Who wouldn't want to have more control over themselves? Well, anyway, whatever role you play in this situation, Libra, male hairdresser, God want you to know that this person who has this podcast, they are the real deal. Okay? So don't let anybody tell you any different. They're actually an advocate of good. They're not an advocate of evil. And they are an advocate of the highest order. God ordained them. God appointed them. God has tested them. God has tried them. God has taught them. And now they're here teaching you what nature has taught them, what God has taught them. So it's up to you to choose, really. You can listen to these people that are poisoning your mind against this prophet or prophetess who has this podcast, or you can keep listening to the podcast and keep growing and maturing. It's your choices, your life, your fate. Okay? The power of your future is in your hands. And everything starts with thought. If your mind is messed up, the whole rest of everything is going to be messed up. Once our mind is messed up, our body then gets messed up, and our external world becomes a representation of the messed upness that's going on in our mind. Because there's a thin line between the right information and the wrong information. There's a thin line between making the right choice and making the wrong choice. But they all determine where we end up. So let's say 10 months from now, you don't like where you ended up, is because you've been making some very bad decisions. And if you like where you end up 10 months from now, it's because you've been making some good decisions. And I know that these things are relative because, everybody don't love the same things, but life is about making it what you want it to be. The objective is to be happy and grateful. You know what I'm saying? So the question is, what makes you happy? For some people, it's money. Some people, it's love. Some people, it's both. Some people, it's family. Some people, it's fun. Some people, it's whatever. Life is what you make it. You define your own happy and go after your own happy. Don't let nobody cloud your judgment as to what path you should follow to reach your version of happy. Okay? So, let this person yap, 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 yap all they want to. At the end of the day, it's your decision, your life, and it will be your fate. Whatever happens to you, you're the one who's going to have to sit in it and deal with it. So the best advice I could give you is to make sure that the choices that you make are choices that come from within you. Listen to everybody, by all means, listen. But the final decision should come from within you, and you only. So if you like where you end up, it'll be as a result of your own choices. And if you hate where you end up, you'll have nobody but yourself to blame. It's better that way. It's better than to feel like, oh, it's because of this person or because of that person, why X, Y, Z, especially if it's a bad thing, is happening. You don't need that type of drama. Make your own decisions. Okay? And where you don't know what to choose, you pray for guidance. Okay? Right. So, Libra male hairdresser. I don't know, you male hairdressers, y'all are into a lot more than hairdressing, bruv. Y'all are into some deep things. But it's alright, because life knows no boundaries. You know what I'm saying? Life just happens. So sometimes life overlaps. So right now, your work life and your spiritual life has somehow meshed into one. Very interesting. So what, do you listen to the podcast while you're at work or something? Do you play the podcast like out loud so that other clients and other staff can hear it? And if so, then if you're the one that's playing the podcast out loud and you like the vibe and you find it to be positive and God agrees, who is this fucking devil that has a problem with it? You know what I'm saying? That's the next question. Like, who does that? What kind of antichrist is this that you're working for? Who fight against truth? Who fight against righteousness? Antichrist. Simple mathematics. The devil don't like the truth, and the devil don't like heavenly things. The devil. Anywho, you know your situation better than I do. Fit yourself in the equation where you fit. And one more thing, like, if you play this out loud, what do the other customers or the other just the other people around feel or think about this podcast that you listen to? You know what I'm saying? Because you can't be the only one going bonkers. Like, what do they think about it? And still don't allow their thoughts to shape how you feel and what you think about it. Okay? Because as you can see, this world has people who love devil life and it has people who love God life. So it's like, stick with your own kind. So it still boils back down to you choosing who you want to be in life. Do you want to be an advocate of the darkness, or you want to be an advocate of the light? It's as simple as that. And nobody else's opinion really count. But at least you can identify your people once you know how they feel about this. Like, it's like, I like it. What do you think? Or before you even tell them what you think, just ask them like, what you think about what he or she just said? What do you think about what this prophet or prophetess just said? What do you think about what this man or woman just said? That make any sense to you? You know, just pick their brain, hear what they have to say, and still be slow to believe anybody's opinion. Because if this person is after your mind, if this government employee person or this governor is after your mind, if they're trying to limit your spiritual growth, if you're the target, they can get somebody to pretend to be in agreement with it so that that person can slowly snake their way into your mind and eventually turn your mind against this podcaster that you have no problem with. You like the vibe. So you have to be smart. Okay? So I wish you all the best with this. Until next time, Libra male hairdresser. One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright. One love, one heart. Give thanks and praise to the Lord, and we will feel alright. Don't bother with them. Fuck them. Until next time. Bye.